Hey you guys, Markus here. Today's video is about one of the most beautiful jazz standards of all time, Take the A Train. Written in 1939 by Billy Strayhorn and performed by the Duke Ellington Orchestra, it became one of the most played and most interpreted jazz standards as well. So let's break it down. The song starts with a piano intro. We have basically two chords. The first one is a C major triad, and the second one is, according to the real book, an A flat 7 sharp 5 over G flat, but I think there's an easier way to see it. So let's start with the C major triad again. I'll play G, C, E and G again, so I have two fifths, a low fifth and a high fifth. And now the low fifth alters down to the diminished fifth, and the high fifth alters up to the augmented fifth. So it's a C major triad with two altered fifths. So and why is that? To understand that, we have to take a look at the melody. This is what Duke Ellington plays with his right hand. And the tones are E, D, C, A sharp and G sharp. And this is the whole tone scale. So what's the whole tone scale? Well, the whole tone scale is a scale with only whole tones. So we have C, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, and A sharp, and C again. And because of its symmetry, the C whole tone scale is the D whole tone scale and the E whole tone scale as well. And our chord, this one fits perfectly into the scale. The whole tone scale was very popular in the late 1930s. They didn't use it as much for fancy solo stuff. They used it as an effect, as a color. They used it to create contrast. And this is what music, this is what art is all about. It's all about creating contrast. The structure of the song is an AABA form. We have an A section, which is 8 bars long, and we have a B section, which is also 8 bars long. The A section starts with a C chord. You can play a C triad, like this. You can play a C6, or C6-9 as well. There are 2 bars, C, and then we play a D7, then a D minor 7, G7, and back to C. And if you're familiar with the harmonies of the C major scale, you might have noticed that there is no D7 in the C major scale. D7 is a 5 chord, and D7 in this particular case is the 5 of G7, and G7 is the 5 of C. So D7 is a secondary dominant. Let's play the whole A section. C, D7, D minor 7, G7, A, turn around to 5-1, C, D7, D minor 7, G7, and back home to C6, and then we play C7 to get to F. We're still in the key of C major. F is the 4 chord. Then we play 4 bars F or F6 or F9, whatever you want. And then D7, we had that before, D minor 7, G7, and we repeat the A section, D7, D minor 7, G7 and C6. That's it. That's the structure of the song. The melody starts with a C major triad. And we land on a G sharp. And the G sharp doesn't fit into the C major scale, and it doesn't fit into the D7 chord as well. It goes together with the D7 chord, but it doesn't fit into it. So what's going on here? Remember the voicing from the intro? Now we play this voicing with a D in the bass. And this is called a D9 sharp 11. Let's put this chord aside for a moment and continue with the melody. It's an A sharp, B. So this is a whole chromatic line from the G, G sharp, A flat, and B. Then an E. And now we're together with the G7 chord and we play the root note. And go chromatic down to the minor 7th. I continue with the D flat, which is the tritone, and leads us as a chromatic approach note back to the C chord. So now I played this segment of the melody here. Also play it here. Just a question of taste. The B section starts with an F major 7 arpeggio. And it continues with an F minor 7 flat 5 arpeggio, which is in this case a substitute for the D9 chord. Now this is the B section. Now let's take a look on how we can improvise on this tune. I really love to solo on Take the A Train because it's so easy. It's basically the C major scale, the harmonies of the C major scale, 2-5-1, we go to the 4 chord and back. So we can play the C major scale, we can play the C major pentatonic. This is what I do a lot. And sometimes I use a bluesy approach, and if you're interested on how to play bluesy melodies on 2-5-1, check this video, this might be interesting. So it's basically very easy to improvise on Take the A Train with one exception. This is the 2 chord, the D7. We have an F sharp instead of the F. This is an F sharp, or here. And we also have the sharp 11, so the chord is in fact a D9 sharp 11. So how can we handle this chord? And we can get inspired by the intro. We played the Wholetonescale in the intro. Remember, the C Wholetonescale is also the D Wholetonescale because of its symmetry. I think the most recommended pattern for the Wholetonescale on the guitar is this. And this is easy to remember because of its symmetry, and it's hard to play because of the stretches. You have to stretch your fingers. And this is maybe the reason why I avoided the Wholetonescale for so many years. But we can also leave a couple of notes of the Wholetonescale, which makes our lives way easier, and the Wholetonescale won't lose any of its magic. This is it. You can skip 2 frets to the right or 2 frets to the left because it's symmetric. The alternative to this is a scale called D Mixolydian sharp 11, which is the 4th modulation of A melodic minor. You can also see it as the D Mixolydian scale, which is the G major scale, with a sharp 11 instead of an 11. You have all the notes you need. Now that we're almost done, I would like to show you a simple trick how you can handle the D7 sharp 11. Just start with the C major pentatonic, and when the D7 is played, replace the G with the G sharp. Then continue with an A. This sounds absolutely beautiful. So this is it. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed it making it. See you next time.